Okay, so let me show you how I solved problem P2A in homework 7. So I'm just going to scroll down to where we had to find things and show you what I did. This is pretty straightforward. I'm asking for the lender's comprehensive cash flows. And remember that the comprehensive cash flows is just the set of every single cash flow that that player, that participant got in each given period. And we've computed that up above as part of problem P2B. And so I'm just going to reach up and grab these cash flows. So the lender's net cash flow at the beginning of the project here is just equal to everything that we've added up for the lender uh, up above. She has those front end fees, um, and she is putting out the loan draw at the end of the month. And so I've got that. So the 98,852, and I can just copy the rest of these over. Whoops. And let me just make sure that I'm not going to get in trouble with the total if I do the same thing. And I can do the same thing, I can see. So I'll just do that. Okay. And now I want to show you the Microsoft way here to get an IRR. If you have a set of cash flows, and Microsoft will assume the first one is at t equals 0 in whatever units you're using, months, quarters, years, whatever. Second one is at t equal 2, third one is at t equal 3, etc., etc. So if you have 0 cash flow at t equal 3, for example, you better put a 0 in there. Otherwise, everything's going to be all screwed up. Also, you want to do a quick check that some are positive and some are negative. If the IRR for a set of all negative cash flows is infinite, the IRR for a set of all positive cash flows is infinite. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Microsoft's IRR function, which you can look up on the internet. You can look up Microsoft Help, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't want to get that total. I just want to get each cash flow happening at the end of each period. And I'll put in a guess. The guess is what we think the IRR is. So I'll say 5%. You want to say something low and reasonable. And there we go. It puts in 3.26%. And now that's in quarterly units. So the lender is getting for this project, including her fee at t equals 0, 3.26% compounded quarterly. Easiest for us always to think, of course, on an annual basis. So we'll use the EAIR formula to annualize that. So that's going to be equal to 1 plus the quarterly number raised to the number of compounding periods per year, which is 4 in this case, minus 1, and that gives us 13.69%. Okay, let's go down to the next part, which is the lender's cash flow with no fees. And so now we have to think a little bit. We can't use the lender's comprehensive cash flows because that includes the fees. But I want everything but the fees, which in this case could be 98,852 minus this, or we could just notice here that in this case it's the loan draw. Okay. Um, and in fact, in every period here except the last period, and it's just going to be the loan draw, which is what we've got down here. And in the last period, we have what she gets paid back, which is going to be just the future value of all the loan draws. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's go down here and be a little careful now. So um, if we're not considering fees, she actually pays the loan draw there. And then for the rest, we can just come down to her total because in all the other periods there are no fees. Um, and that's a pretty general formula. Um, these two numbers are the same, what she gets paid back, because in this case, the fees were upfront, paid at t equals 0. So in both cases here, this is just the future value of each draw growing at 2%, 2% per quarter. Okay, so now for the IRR in this case, I can just copy these formulas, which I'll do here, and paste them here. And lo and behold, I get 2%, which is what I'm expecting per quarter. I'm expecting that because she's lending money at 2%, okay, as we see up here in row 41. So if there are no fees, she's lending money at 2%, that is per quarter, that is the interest rate for the problem. And as we know, same thing as the discount rate for the whole problem. And then here again, I've just taken the EAIR. So this is a good thing to know that the IRR for any lender, if there are no fees, is simply the interest rate or the discount rate that the lender is charging. Okay, and I think that's good enough for this solution. So we'll end it there.